Hello everyone. Thank you for taking time to join me in this session today. My name is Priya and I am a product marketer for Zoho Sign. I have with me on panel Rajiv and Sai Anand, product experts from Zoho Sign, Abhishek and Santosh, product experts from Zoho Finance team. In this session, we will walk you through integrating Zoho Sign with Zoho Finance apps for effortless transactions. So before we dive into this webinar, let's see what we have on the agenda for today's session. First, we'll walk you through the need for digital signatures and then a quick overview of Zoho Sign. Then we'll come to the main part of the session, which is Zoho Sign integration with Zoho Finance apps, where we'll take you through how you can digitally sign an estimate, an invoice, and a credit note, which is then followed by collecting customer signatures in your estimates through client portal and public link. Then we'll see how you can collect payments and signatures from your customers within the same workflow. At the end, we'll have a Q&A session. Throughout the webinar, feel free to use the questions tab to raise any questions. As I am presenting, my colleagues on the panel will answer them. Now, let's take a quick look at the apps that are in focus today, starting with Zoho Sign, which is a simple cloud-based digital signature solution used by thousands of businesses around the world to securely sign, send, and manage documents online. Zoho Sign allows you and your online collaborators come together to digitally sign a document or an agreement literally from anywhere. We have four Zoho Finance applications in focus today, starting with Zoho Books, which is an accounting software that allows you to manage your finances, automate your business workflows, and also to collaborate with other departments in your organizations much effectively. The next application we have in focus today is Zoho Invoice. Zoho Invoice is a free invoicing tool which allows you to create professional invoices and send these invoices to your customers as well as send payment reminders, basically everything at one place. It is also the script down version of Zoho Books and is designed for startups and small scale businesses. The next application is Zoho Inventory, which is an inventory management solution that allows you to create and manage both sales and purchase orders at one place. You can also track the inventory as well. The last application is Zoho Checkout, which will allow you to create a secure payment page without a single line of code. And it also allows you to integrate with popular payment gateways such as Stripe, PayPal, or Razorpay, depending on your region. Now, Rajiv will take you through the need for digital signatures and then a quick overview of Zoho Sign. Over to you, Rajiv.
Thanks for the quick intro, Priya. Thank you, folks, for joining this session. And for those who are joining right now, my name is Rajiv, and I'm a product expert here at Zoho. So, allow me to share my screen. So, if you're someone who's from the finance industry, or if you're someone who takes care of the financial transactions that's happening in your organization, and if you come up and say, yeah, I do handle a lot of paperwork in my organization, then yes, I can quite relate to it. It could be drafting a paperwork, taking multiple prints of that, you signing it, sending it to your signatories, collecting their signatures, raising invoice for the same, securely storing those documents. And also you have to retrieve those documents when there's an auditing happening in your organization. So if your organization is one of those organizations that follows such a pen and paper based workflow, then I'm pretty sure you'll be going through some of the disadvantages, like you'll be having a constant concern whether your documents are being forged or tampered. You must be always on your toes to make sure that you're not losing any documents or no documents are damaged in due time. And when I say there'll be maintenance of documents, obviously there'll be a resource drain, be it the money or the space needed to store these documents or the labor needed to make sure that the documents are intact. So when a company goes through these many disadvantages, it's difficult for them to scale their operations. And this is where digital signatures comes into play. So what is a digital signature? So digital signature can commonly be known as an alternative to the e-signatures. And by digital signature, what we mean is that we attach a digital fingerprint which is linked to a particular signer and it acts as a seal. So every now and then when the document is altered or tampered, the seal gets invalid and it's compromised. If your organization implements digital signature solution to collect signatures from signatories, it has its own perks like it's cost efficient, it's easy to set up, you have a faster turnaround time, and you could give your customers a better user experience as well. And this is exactly where ZoSign falls in. So what is ZoSign all about? So ZoSign is a digital signature solution that not only helps you to send and sign business document, but also helps you in managing those documents by using a simple cloud-based electronic signing process. And there are some features that ZoSign gives you, like if you're someone who sends out frequent documents like memos, receipts, contracts, or any other agreement based documents frequently, you could have them stored as templates. And if you want to get documents signed from multiple signatories in one single click, we do have the option of bulk send as well. And not only this, we also have several advanced features like sign forms, bulk sign, and much more. And the cherry on the top is this entire product is built on our own REST APIs. And we also have APIs, webhooks, and web and mobile SDKs that will allow you to integrate ZoSign with your in-app application. So not only this, ZoSign also has several other highlights or advantages I can say. So some are like offer a tamper-proof audit trail and a completion certificate. And we also have an extra option in case you want to authenticate your signers. You could do that with email or SMS OTP. And if you're someone from the US, we do have dynamic knowledge-based authentication. And if you're someone from the EU region, we have the recipient verification via EU EID. And not only this, ZoSign also offers blockchain-based timestamping and trusted document timestamping. It's always good if you get your documents signed using qualified electronic signatures or advanced electronic signatures. To ensure this, ZoSign has integrated with leading trust service providers like if you're someone from the Indian region, we have integrated with Aadhaar eSign and eMudra eKYC services. If you're someone from the European Union, we have integrated with Unataka and Infocert. If you're someone from the South African region, we have integrated with Trust Factory. And for the Singapore residents and citizens, we have integrated with Sign with SingPass. So in this modern digital era, we do send out documents across borders to get it signed and we receive it back. When we do such transactions, it's imperative that the digital signature solution that you have used allows or follows the regional and local laws that's prevailing on that particular country. So as you can see here, ZoSign is compliant with the PIPEDA Act in the Canadian region, eSign Act in the United States, EIDAS in the European Union, ACTA in the South African region, ITA 2000 in India, and the Electronic Transaction Act in Australia and other Southeast Asian countries. And not only this, ZoSign is also compliant with HIPAA and the FDA's 21 CFR Part 11 for the for the US region. And when it comes to EU, we are compliant with the GDPR as well. So not only this, ZoSign is also available on all native mobile applications and just helps you to sign and manage documents on the go. So just like how Priya said, once we share this slide deck with you, you could just go on to these app links and download and give these apps a try as well. So apart from the financial apps that we're going to see today, Zoho Sign also integrates with a wide range of Zoho apps starting from Zoho CRM, Zoho Mail, Zoho Creator, Zoho Flow, Zoho Contracts, and not only this, Zoho Sign also integrates with several popular third-party applications like Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, and other popular CRM applications like HubSpot, Pipedrive, Freshsales, and much more. So these are some broad departments and roles where Zosign has been put to a greater use. So let me come up and let me put a use case in front of you. So let's assume you have hired a new candidate to your organization. So the first step of the hiring process would be they would have to sign an offer acceptance letter. And once they are in, they might need to sign a social media policy or an NDA agreement or any other organization related document. And let's assume they are someone who's in a customer facing role, and let's assume they have cracked a deal with one of the prospect and they want to get a document signed as a formal agreement. With Zoho Sign, you could streamline the entire process. And when I say this, this is just a tip of the iceberg when compared to the several other use cases that our customers have been putting Zoho Sign to use. So that's all about Zoho Sign. So let me pass on the session back to Priya, and she will be taking you through how you could integrate Zoho Sign with Zoho Books, Zoho Invoice, and Zoho Inventory. So back to you, Priya.
Thank you, Raju, for taking us through digital signatures and then a quick overview of Zoho Sign. Yeah, so we have come to the main part of the session, which is Zoho Sign integration with Zoho Finance apps. Now, just to give you an overview of what it is to create an invoice or estimate and send it to your customer for signature, let me just quickly take you through a use case which will help you to understand the integration much better. Now, let's say you have received a customer or a lead who is interested in buying your product. As a sales executive, using the Zoho Sign extension, you can just digitally sign the estimate and send it to your customer. Now, your customer can basically sign and accept the estimate through the client portal and can send it back to you again. And once you receive the estimate, you can go ahead and convert it into an invoice. And then you can also send a follow up invoice to your customer to get it signed. And now, once they complete the signing process, you can go ahead and close the deal. As you can see, the entire paperwork throughout the deal is done online and remotely using the Zoho Sign extension within the Zoho Finance application itself. Now, let me put down the capabilities and features each of these integrations offer. Starting with Zoho Books and Zoho Sign integration. So, with the Books and Sign integration, you can send digitally signed estimates to your customers, and your customers can sign and accept them through the client portal. Then you can also send digitally signed invoices and credit notes to your customers with the Books and Sign integration. Coming to the Zoho Invoice and Zoho Sign integration, you can send digitally signed estimates and your customers can accept these estimates. Then you can also send digitally signed invoices to your customers with the invoice and sign integration. Now, with the Zoho inventory and Zoho Sign integration, since the estimates are not available and supported, you will not be able to send digitally signed estimates, whereas you will be able to sign digitally signed invoices and credit notes to your customers. So, before we go into how the integration works part, let me just quickly take you through the prerequisites that you need to ensure before start using this integration. So you will need a valid Zoho Sign license and then a valid Zoho Finance Plus license. Or if you are a Zoho One customer, you will be readily able to use this integration. Later, you need to set up user profile and you also need to add your e-signature inside the Zoho Sign application. And the last step is to ensure that you have enabled the signature in the footer section of invoice and estimate templates. Now let's see how you can set up your user profile and add e-signature inside the Zoho Sign application. The first step is to log into your Zoho Sign account. So this is the simple Zoho Sign dashboard. So from your dashboard, head over to settings on the left menu and click profile under the general section. Here you can update your first name, last name and other details such as company, job title and date format. And you to update your signature or to add your signature, you can click the signature wizard icon. So you can basically add your signature via three methods in the Zoho site. You can type your signature, or you can draw your signature, or you can also upload a file or an image that already contains your signature. So yeah, go ahead and choose your desired method and click OK. So with that, you have now set up your user profile and added your e-signature inside the Zoho Sign app. Now let's just quickly see how you can enable footer signature in the finance application templates. So to do that, you can log into your respective finance application. Here, for your reference, I have added both Zoho Books and Zoho Inventory screenshots. So once you log into the respective finance app from the dashboard, click the settings icon at the top and then navigate to templates. You will be taken to the standard templates page where you have to click edit to edit that particular invoice template or estimate template. So once you click edit and then you need to click footer. Once you scroll down, you will be able to find an option called signature. Make sure you have enabled this option before you start using the Zoho Sign and Zoho Finance integration. So now that we have seen the prerequisites, let's just quickly jump over to how you can enable this integration inside your finance application. So basically enabling the Zoho Sign inside Zoho Books, Zoho Invoice and Zoho Inventory is exactly the same way. In this session, I'll take you through how you can enable Zoho Sign inside your Zoho Books. And as I mentioned, it's exactly the same in Invoice and Inventory. The first step is to log into your Zoho Books account. As you can see, this is the Zoho Books dashboard. So from your dashboard, click the settings icon, which is at the top right corner, and then navigate to the integrations. Under the integrations, once you click Zoho apps, you can search for Zoho Sign and then click connect. So now next step is to click connect now so that Zoho Books can authorize and access your Zoho Sign account. So a pop-up will appear asking you to configure the Zoho Sign integration. So go ahead and choose the necessary options and click integrate at the bottom. With that, you have enabled the Zoho Sign integration inside your Zoho Books account. So as I mentioned earlier in the session, uh, I have taken a use case where you can digitally sign an estimate and you can send it to your customer. And once your customer finish the signing process, you can convert the estimate into an invoice. So I'll take you through all these steps in detail now. So let's first start with how you can digitally sign an estimate. So the first step is to log into the respective finance application. Here I have logged into my Zoho Books account, and from the Zoho Books dashboard, click Sales and then click the plus icon which is next to the estimates. So the first step is to add customer. Here I am adding a sample customer for the estimate, and then you can add other details such as expiry date. If you want, you can also assign a project name to the particular estimate, and then you can go ahead and add items. Here I am adding one item from the already existing ones. If you want, you can also increase the quantity as well. Once it is done, you can go ahead and add other details such as discount, shipping charges, and customer notes. So once you have added the necessary details, you can just click Save and Sign using the drop down at the bottom. So a preview of your signature will appear. This is the signature you would have set up inside your Zoho Sign application. So yeah, go ahead and click Sign Estimate. With that, you have digitally signed the estimate. And if you scroll down, you'll be able to find your signature being attested to this estimate. Now, if you want to send this estimate to any of your customer, you can just click send estimate. And as you can see here, you can see other important folks involved in this. And if you scroll down, you will be able to find an option called send. And once you click send, the estimate that you have digitally signed will be sent to your customer. Let's see how the customer can sign and accept this estimate. So basically a customer can sign and accept the estimate via two methods. They can do it via client portal or via public link. Let's start with how they can achieve this via client portal. So the first step for the customer is to log into their client portal and then select that particular estimate that they want to accept or decline. And once they selected that particular estimate, they'll be able to find an option called accept or decline at the top. And once they click accept, a pop-up will appear asking them to add their signature. As I mentioned before, you can either type your signature or draw your signature, or you can also upload an image containing your signature. So yeah, the customer can select the desired method and then click sign and accept. With that, the estimate will be digitally signed. So now let's see how the customer can sign and accept the estimate via public link. So before I take you through how customer can do this, you need to ensure that you have enabled the customer signature collection in estimates via public link in your respective finance application. So to do that, log into your respective finance application. Here I have logged into my Zoho Books account, and from the dashboard, click settings icon and then click preferences. So once you click preferences, you can head over to estimates. So you'll be able to find an option that I have highlighted here. Make sure you have enabled this option that allows your customers to either accept or decline the estimate via public link. So once you have done this, you can just go ahead and send the estimate to your customer. Now the customer would have received an email containing the estimate to their Gmail account. So once they click view estimate, and then they have to click accept or decline. Now let's say they have clicked accept. Just like in the first method, they can add their e-signature and click sign and accept. With that, the estimate will be digitally signed. Now that the customer have digitally signed the estimate, let's quickly see how you can convert this estimate that the customer have signed into an invoice. The first step is to log into your respective finance application. Here I have logged into my Zoho Invoice account, and from the dashboard you can head over to estimates and choose that particular estimate that you want to convert to an invoice. Once you open the estimate, you will find an option called convert to invoice. So yeah, a pop-up will appear asking you to select the fields that you would like to retain when you convert this particular estimate into an invoice. So go ahead and choose the required fields and click save. With that, your estimate will be converted to invoice for signing. Let's see how you can digitally sign an invoice. As I mentioned before, the first step is always to log into your respective finance application. Here, I have logged into my Zoho Invoice account, and from the invoice dashboard, click the plus icon which is next to invoices. The first step here is to add your customer. I have added one sample customer here, and then you can also add subject to this particular invoice. I'm going to add one here now. So once you have added the subject, you can just go ahead and add items. Here I have added one from already existing ones. And then you can also add other details such as discount, shipping charges, and if there are any adjustments, and also your own terms and conditions. And once you have added all the necessary details, you can just click save and sign using the drop down menu at the bottom. So a preview of your signature will appear. So yeah, go ahead and click sign invoice. With that, your invoice will be digitally signed. And if you want to send this invoice to any of your customer, just like how you clicked send estimate in the first video, here you can just click send invoice and you can CC other important folks and send it to your customer. Let's just quickly see how you can digitally sign a credit note and send it to your customers. As I mentioned, the first step is to log into your respective finance application. Here I have logged into Zoho inventory account. And from the inventory dashboard, head over to sales and then click plus icon, which is next to credit notes. The next procedure is the exact same as in the estimate and invoice. So you have to add the customer name, and here I have added one, and you can go ahead and add items. I'm gonna add two item details here from the already existing ones that I have created. If you want, you can also create new items as well. So once you have added the item details, just like how, as I mentioned before, you can add discount, shipping charges, customer notes, terms and conditions, etc. So once you have added all the necessary details that you want to, you can just click save and sign using the drop down. So a signature preview will appear. Once you click sign credit note, your credit note will be digitally signed by you. So you can see that it says the credit note is signed. And if you want to send the credit note to any of your customers, you can just click send credit note. So here, as you can see other folks. If you want, you can also change the subject. And once you scroll down, you will find an option called send. And once you click send, the credit note will be sent to your customers. Yeah, in this session, I have taken you through how you can digitally sign an estimate, an invoice, and a credit note. And I have also shown you how you can convert an estimate into an invoice. Now, Rajiv will take you through how you can collect payments and signatures from your customers in the same workflow. Over to you, Rajiv.
Thanks, Priya, for walking us through how you could integrate Zoho Sign with Zoho Books, Invoice, and Inventory. And I'm pretty sure our attendees would have gotten a clear picture on how we could use these integrations. Let me take you to how you could collect payments as well as signatures at the same time using Zoho Sign's integration with Zoho Checkout. So assume, let's take a use case for example. Let's assume that you have cracked a deal with one of your partners, and as a token advance, you want your partner to pay a chunk of an amount. You could achieve that using Zoho Sign and Zoho Checkout integration. So all you have to do is just upload the document in Zoho Sign, add the necessary document fields and the payment fields, send out the document via Zoho Sign. The client, or this signatory will just sign the document and then he proceeds to do the payment via Zoho Checkout. And that's it. A payment invoice gets generated automatically. And this is exactly what this integration does. And an added bonus to this is you could also acknowledge that invoice with your signature and send it out to any other recipients if you wish to give them an acknowledgement that yes, I do acknowledge that this transaction took place and here's my signature on it. So that's what I'm going to show you in the second half of this webinar session. So this is how the Zoho Sign, Zoho Checkout integration works. So you will upload the document in Zoho Sign and you will drag and drop the payment field. So if you hadn't integrated Zoho Checkout with Zoho Sign, you'll be redirected to Zoho Checkout page where you'll be asked to connect your payment gateway and create a payment page. And if you had already configured Zoho Checkout with Zoho Sign, you could just send the document out for signatures and you could collect both signature and payment from your signatories. So, but before we jump into the integration, there are a couple of prerequisites. If you use only Zoho Sign, it's imperative that you are on the enterprise plan. And as far as Zoho Checkout license is concerned, the number of payment pages that you can create are subjective to the plan that you're in, and the payment gateways that gets listed is based on your region in which the account that you have created. And if you are a Zoho One customer, you'll already have the enterprise plan in both the applications, and it's just a matter of seconds to integrate this and start using it. So these are some supported payment gateways that is available, rightly available in Zoho Checkout. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to have a look at all the payment gateways that have been supported. Right. So let me walk you to the first step of how the integration between Zoho Checkout and Zoho Sign happens. So just give me a couple of seconds and yeah. So this is what your Zoho Sign dashboard will look like. So on the left is the navigation pane where we have the options like documents, templates, sign forms, reports, and account settings. And on the right is the activity feed. And if you see on the center, we have the send for signature and sign yourself button. So click on send for signatures and you'll get a similar screen. So ZoSign offers two ways by which you could upload the document. You could either drag the files directly And you could also upload the files from your local computer storage or import it from one of the cloud providers with which you have integrated Zoho Sign. So once you have added the document, all you have to do is just add the recipient details. And ZoSign also offers an option where you could send the delivery link via email and SMS. And if you want to give out a specialized, customized message for that intended recipient alone, you could have them in the private note. And like I said earlier, over here you could see the different authentication types that we offer. And if you wish that your signer signs through an intended digital signature provider, you could select that alone over here and click save. We also give out additional settings like the number of days within which the document needs to be signed. You could add them under a particular folder. You could enable or disable automatic reminders. And if there are, let's say, around 5 or 7 recipients, and if you want to send out a common message to all, you could have them added in the note to all recipient text box. So once you're done with that, click continue and it will take you to the document viewer window, just like the one you can see on the screen right now. So over here, you could just double click and place the document fields, or you could click and drag just like I'm doing right now. So when you drag and place the payment field for the very first time, you'll get a similar pop-up message. So all you have to do here is click configure. And once you click configure, you'll be automatically redirected to the Zoho checkouts, or the home page in a new tab. So all you have to do here is enter your org details like the name, the business location, the currency through which you want the transactions to take place, and other details like the address, the industry that you are in exactly. And once you're done with all the details, just click get started. So right now I have showed you how to add a payment field. So now let me take you to the steps on how to connect a payment gateway in Zoho Checkout. So this is what your Zoho Checkout dashboard will look like. So click on set up a payment gateway. And like I said earlier, based on your plan and the edition, the payment gateways, changes from region to region. Click with connect with that particular payment gateway that's been listed over here. As you can see, it's only Stripe, but based on your account, there'll be much more payment gateways listed over here. But let me give you a side note on this particular step. Let's assume you have set up 3 payment gateways. The payment gateway that was set up most recent, that's the one through which the entire transaction will take place. So for example, let's say you have Stripe and PayPal. So you have set up Stripe first, and then you have set up the PayPal account. The transaction takes place to the PayPal payment gateway only. So yeah, that's all about how to set up your payment gateway. And now you're done with the first step. So the second step now is setting up a payment page in Zoho Checkout. So again, from your Zoho checkout dashboard, click on create your first payment page. So over here, all you have to do is you could give a title for your payment page for your own reference. You could enter the amount. You could choose the frequency. You could also set whether you want your, end signers to view the terms and conditions. And if you wish to give out a personalized message upon successful transaction, and you wish that aligns with your branding or with your organization, you could have that one over here as well. So once you're done with all the changes over here, click save. So the window that you are able to see right now, in this particular window, you could do 2 things. One, click preview and you could have a glimpse of how the payment page looks. So if you wish, you could just, you want to change something, or if you want to add anything, you click the pencil icon. And if you wish to make it live, just click on mark as live and click yes on that pop-up that comes, and voila, your payment page is live now. So right now the payment gateway has been connected, the payment page has been set. Zoho checkout also has an option where it allows you to edit the payment page template apart from the default one that's present, so that it helps you to align with your brand or the organization's brand. So all you have to do here is click on the third one, the personalize your page. And once you click that, it takes you to the default template that you have created. Click edit. As you can see on the screen right now, the screen gets split into two. So on the left side, you have multiple options that you could, add it, edit it, remove based on your own preference. And on the right is the payment page that reflects on all the changes that you're doing on the left side. So as you can see right now, I am unchecking some of the checkboxes, and on the right, the page layout gets changed a bit. So you could do all the changes that you want over here. And once you're done with that, click save and your payment page gets saved according to the template that you wish your payment page want to be. So yeah, so now I have showed you how to set up a payment gateway, create a new payment page, edit that payment page according to your own preference. So now let me show you how to send out this document with a payment field on it. So once you're done with all the steps that I showed you right now, so all you have to do is just click on the Zoho Sign tab that's there right next over there. Just click on verify and drag and drop that payment field again. So once you do that, you can see on the right, you get the checkout organization name. Select that. And as you can see here, the payment page that we have created and the currency that we used to create that org both gets listed over here. It comes auto populated. And if let's say you have 5 or 6 payment pages, you could click on that drop down and select the payment page that you want. Enter the denomination account, and if you're done with all the fields, just hit send. And once you do that, you could also track the document's status, as in what's the correct exact status of it. As you can see here, the document has been mailed and it is yet to be viewed by the signer. So this is how you could actually send a document out with a payment field using Zoho Sign. So till now, I have shown from the sender's perspective, as in how to integrate and how to add a payment field. So now allow me to show you how the UI or how the flow looks on the recipient's end. All your signer has to do now is just open the the signature request mail that he or she may have received, click start signing, and they will find a similar screen. They all they have to do is just click proceed to document, accept to the terms and conditions that's listed over there, and fill in all the document fields that's needed. And as you can see on my screen right now, the amount that we entered in the previous step gets auto populated, and all the signer has to sign, add over here is his name and his signature. So just like how Priya had said, Zosign gives you the option to add your signature in 3 types. You could just enter your name and choose one of the predefined signature style, or you could draw your signature, or you could, if you have an image of your signature, you could just, upload it over here and click OK. So once you're done with all these steps, all you have to do is click pay and finish, and a new tab opens, and it will have the same page that you created in a couple of steps back. Since in this step we'll be entering, the credit card information like the CVV number and the credit card number, I would have blurred it out over here. And so all your signer or the signatory has to do is enter the details that are mandatory. If it's optional, they could leave it out as well. So once they are done with all the details that's needed, all they have to do is click the pay now button. And once the transaction has been a successful one, they will see a similar message. This window gets automatically closed and you'll be redirected to Zoho Sign's signing window. And you have not only signed the document, but the payment transaction has, even that's been done successfully. Okay, so now the signing part is done. The payment has been done as well, but we have to ensure that it took place in the right way, and it did take place. So now let me show you how to check this payment details in Zoho Sign. So like I showed you a couple of videos back, the document status window, all you have to do is just hit refresh. And once you do that, you could find the payment amount and the payment gateway transaction ID over here. For a brief information, you could download the completion certificate. And when you open that certificate, you could find the amount that was paid, the payment gateway transaction ID, and the payment partner with which this entire transaction took place. So this is how you could get to know about the transaction details in Zoho Sign. Now let me show you how you could check the same payment details in Zoho Checkout as well. So right from your Zoho Checkout dashboard, click on Payment Pages, and that will list you all the payment pages that you had created. In this instant, we had created only one single payment page. So just let's get into that. And once you enter that payment page, all the payments that took place with that particular payment page gets listed over here. And it's not only that, this particular list will have the date when the transaction took place, the customer details like their name, their email ID, the invoice gets generated over here, the amount on which the transaction took place, the status of the transaction, whether it was a successful one or the transaction didn't fall through. And not only this, it also gives you a consolidated amount of the total amount that this payment page transaction took place. So all these details you can find it over here. So, like I said during the initial slides where I was explaining the flow, I was saying that you could acknowledge the invoice that was created for every single transaction. So let me show you how that's done. So this is what your basic Zoho Books dashboard looks like. So from the left navigation pane, all you have to do is click on Sales and Invoices. So all the invoices gets listed over here. Select any one, click on the more actions and click on sign. Your signature comes, click on sign invoice, and that's it. Now you're acknowledged by adding your signature into that particular invoice. So I also said that you could send out this signed invoice with any other intended recipient. So let me show you that as well. So for that, let's come back to Zoho Sign. So to do that, all you have to do is from your Zoho Sign dashboard on the left navigation pane, hover your mouse over documents and click completed. And you can see the invoice gets listed over here. Click view if you want to have, if you want to double check whether the signature is present on the invoice. So yeah, it is there in this case. Click back, click on email document, and you could add the intended recipient and hit send. This is how you can not only collect signatures, but you could also collect payments, and you could also acknowledge the invoices for each transaction using Zoho Sign, Zoho Checkout integration. So now allow me to share some important resources that will help you to get to know much more about Zoho Sign. So on the first one, the first link is our knowledge base link that has the consolidated all help documents. So that will give you a broader perspective of each feature that Zoho Sign has to offer. And if you want to know more about the apps that Zoho Sign integrates with, how to integrate that, we have given you a link for that as well. We have individual links for solution guide and API guide. We have a very own YouTube channel where we not only upload these webinar recordings, but we also upload how-to videos, customer testimonials, and feature videos as well. And we have our very own forum where if you want to come and have a discussion with our developers, you could just come over there and hit up your query. And if you're from some particular region and if you want to know the legal complaints of Zosign in your region, we have given you the legal guide link as well. And if you're looking to purchase Zosign or if you want to upgrade your Zosign license, we are given the pricing link as well. So right now, Zosign has also started offering personalized paid training, and I have given the link of that also in this deck. And just like how Priya had said during the beginning of this session, we will be sharing this deck and the recording with you via email. So at that time, you could just go through these links as well. So not only this, here are some important, the resource links for Zoho Finance apps like Zoho Books, Zoho Invoice, and we have the same for Zoho Inventory and Zoho Checkout as well. If you have any feedback or questions or queries, you could always write to us. So if you're someone outside the EU region, you could drop a mail to support@zohosign.com. And if you're someone who is from the EU, we have a separate email ID for you guys. It's support@eu.zohosign.com. And yes, we have a very own Twitter handle and we have a LinkedIn page as well. So you want to come over there and hit us a DM and we'll be happy to reply you also.
So, thank you for taking time to join me in this session today. This is Priya signing off on behalf of the entire panel. Thank you and have a great day.